So, hi guys, welcome again to another episode of very short and concise book summaries. So, yeah, let me quickly jump on to this book of the Great Mental Models. And yeah, the title might seem a little heavy, uh, but it's a very nice, a very light book where it deals about few important techniques when you deal with few important concepts like decision making and how to deal with certain aspects while making an important decision, or choosing something in your life, whether to go in this direction or that direction. So it tells a lot about how to process your thoughts and come up with a reasonable output which might be the most advantageous, or might be higher utility compared to the other models or the types or ways we make decisions. So yeah, let's quickly jump into actually the favorite quote from the author. So it's a very, very nice line where he says that you cannot improve like something which you don't know what you're doing wrong, right? You cannot improve if you exactly don't know what you're bad at, right? So in order to improve, or in order to develop yourself, you need to first be aware of what you're doing wrong, what's not going well in your life, or how can you know you identify the different aspects of your life where you can say, for example, you're not doing well, you're a little bit uh, less competent than others, you are lacking a little bit skills. So once you realize that, okay, these are the areas like A, B, C. Now I need to find ways on how to improve that A, B, C to knowing more. So so first and foremost, according to the author, is to be more self-aware and try to figure out what you're not good at, and then you scale up or skill up in that. So that's one of the really nice quotes. And now moving on to the insights and pretty important lessons which I learned from the book is actually pretty simple and straightforward. The first one is, of course, related to self-awareness, and he speaks about how to identify the things you're good at and the things you're not good at. And it's really important to identify that, because then you can use the skills in which you're good at to do something useful to yourself, to the society, or the company you work for, and you can monetize the skill, etc. And at the same time, you need to identify your weaknesses, and that's quite important, because then you can seek help, right? You can seek help, find the right mentor, find the right person, or look online. There are a lot of other options, but you need to know and be self-aware of what you're not good at, right? This exactly the quote was also relating to. Make sure that you know your vulnerabilities, you know your weaknesses, and then make sure that you either learn by yourself or seek help if needed. So simple as that. So try to be more self-aware, then improve upon your weakness, right? The second one is a little tricky, and he kind of puts it in a way where he kind of asks to look at the first principles of the problem and practice the inversion. And let's dive a little bit deeper into what exactly he means by first principles is trying to find the cause, trying to find, the root cause of any problem. How did a problem originate? What is the starting point of the problem? And once you know that, right, once you know how the problem starts, you can easily eliminate it by just eliminating the start, right? When there is different stages in a particular aspect of a situation, and when A causes all the other situations, if you just eliminate that A, if you just eliminate the Q, right, the problem won't even go to the next step, right? It's as simple as that. So we need to make sure what is to find the root cause of a particular problem or an aspect, then try to eliminate it if it's causing a problem, and it's not going to protrude, or it's not going to evolve or expand or whatever, right? Simple as that. And the second statement here is to practice inversion to solving a particular problem, like not only root cause but also finding you know inversion technique. And I can actually take up an example for inversion technique, And let's say you want to get rich, who doesn't want to get rich? So you can think about what are the things you can do to get rich. Say, for example, find a side hustle, or, get another job, or get a part-time job, or do something more productive. And it can give you, something which you can monetize, etc. So in order to do that, what you want, what are all the things you might need? And then in order to gain that, what are things, like, for example, what person you want to get in contact with. So once you unravel each and everything, you will end up, in a line where you can easily start doing that, right? So if you want to get rich, say, for example, if you want to get a side job, and then how to get a side job by, say, for example, applying in online portals like LinkedIn, etc. In order to apply for LinkedIn, you need to have an account. So that's it. Start creating an account, check for jobs, apply, make more money. So that's not a great example, to be frank, but it's exactly what the author was trying to say. Practice the inversion. So when you have a problem in hand, what caused it, and then what we should do to avoid it, and to avoid this, what should I do, and to avoid that, what should I do? And it might come down to a very, very easy and doable task from which you can start. And once you do that, you know what to be done next. And then finally, you either avoid a problem or get to what you want, right? Simple as that. So try to unwrap the problem or the goal you want to achieve, and then try to inverse the order, and then it would make much more easier way to approach that particular problem, right? And finally, he asks us to play the scenarios in your head, like at least uh, it's almost like think before you act, right? Think before you speak. And it's exactly true. You need to give it some thought before you either say something, make a decision, or, when you want to buy something, just take a moment, think whether you really need it. And, try to play the scenario. If you do it, what might happen tomorrow? What might happen 2 months down the line? What might happen few years down the line? Sorry. So that's what the other is trying to convey here. So you need to make sure that you try to replay the situation in your mind, what might happen, and whether you really need it, whether this is really what I want, what I don't want. And then he clearly also mentions to assess the long-term effects of your decisions, because the main problem here is this little out of scope of this book, but our brain is usually, tuned to such a way to always get comfortable, right? Always get comfortable. And most of the things which make us comfortable are not good for long term, right? For example, snoozing in the morning, eating a little bit of junk food, or say, for example, skipping a day of workout. Everything makes you comfortable for short term. So this is where the long-term effects are really important. And most of the, difficult things which might require a lot of energy, might require a lot of, commitment and consistency, are usually measured by long term. One day when you work out, when you go to the mirror, you see there'll be nothing. Second day, there'll be nothing. Third day, there'll be nothing. But when you assess the same workout, like it might be 15 minutes, sorry, it might be 15, 20 minutes a day. But after 3 months, 4 months, you look at the mirror compared to, your photo or the way you look, it might be tremendously, significantly way better. It might, have definitely a better impact. So that's what I think the author wants to convey here. So try to just take a step back, think about the situation, what might happen, and whether you really need it, and then what are the long-term consequences of that particular decision. So once you know all this, you know what's coming, right? You know what are the consequences. You have checked the root cause. You have probably analyzed the situation. Why are you doing it? What might be the long-term effect? Whether you really need it. If that's what you want, then go ahead. Good luck. Otherwise, find another solution. So that's it with this book of the great mental model, and hope this makes a little bit use, and probably for decision making, and hope you practice these mental models and try to make better decisions in your life. And thanks for your time once again, and please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to this channel of Knowledge Central, and please comment if you particularly want a book to be reviewed or talked about, I would love that. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in future videos. Cheers.